What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm here back in the building, man. I'm just going to talk about a few things right quick. Mainly just this Kelvin Joven situation. Just give my quick thoughts on it and just move on from it, Um, Obviously, we've seen in the news, and I'm going to just go to it. I don't, so I'm going to just go to it. Switch right over there. Um, and we see it. Let me pull it up right here. Kelvin Joseph was a passenger in a vehicle from which several gunshots were fired last month, killing a man on the Old East Dallas area, but Joseph was unarmed and did not kill the man, his attorney told Dallas Morning News. I'll just let you kind of go through this. You can read this yourself, so you can pause this, rewind it. I'm not going to go through all of it. Basically, it was a skirmish between two groups. Kelvin Joseph to be one of them, and his entourage, and then they showed the video of the other group leaving and shots being fired out the vehicle. From what it's saying, that Kelvin Joseph was in the vehicle, but wasn't him that was the shooter. But the problem is that this happened in March. It's April 8th, April 15th. This was on the hush. What was going on during this period of time that, did you tell the authorities? Did the authorities know? Did they just find out this situation? As I still scroll through this, I think, it's unfortunate because when you hear how Kelvin Joseph said, he apologized to the family, the organization, things of that nature, as you can see right here. It says Kelvin apologized to the Dallas community for being anywhere near this type of incident. The incident is ongoing, and we respect the process. And I get that. I'm not here to condemn. But what I'm saying, I just find it peculiar that this had been going on a month, and you're just not issuing a statement saying, "Oh, I'm sorry that this happened. A man died," and you're just now saying, "Oh, I am sorry that this happened." What if nobody would have found out? I'm just keeping it real. This is from me, not from nobody else. Not from nobody else. This is from me. What if it was? What if nobody found out? Would you really be sorry? Would you keep this on the hush? Would y'all told anybody? Would y'all said anything? Would y'all just swept it under the rug and kept on moving and feeling maybe good about the clout that y'all murdered somebody? You seen the Aaron Hernandez, and it's been more. It's not like these are isolated cases. Let's keep it real. But just my quick thoughts on it, you can see right here, he deleted his Instagram. You can see the chain, things of that nature. Like I said, I'm not here to condemn or do anything like that because he who is without sin cast the first stone. I've done plenty of things in my life, so I'm not even looking at it like that in that aspect. What I am saying it from the aspect of what I see it as the Cowboys and Kelvin Joseph, and y'all let the measurables get in the way of the character. That's what I feel like in the organization. So they said it was a Dan Quinn pick. Was it a Dan Quinn pick? I don't know. I think that's where you really want to know because, Jay Tuck got me turned on to Asante Samuel when we were looking at the cornerback process because cornerback was hot and heavy, and that's what we were looking at heavy last year. That's what I showed a lot of videos. I made a video of Asante Samuel Jr. because Jay Tuck, he's a Florida State guy. Marvin Wilson, I did a video on him, and once I saw Asante Samuel, when she told me about him, I already knew about the bloodlines, but go check out that video still. I still got it right after or right before he was drafted, I believe. I made a Asante Samuel Jr. video before the draft happened. And, the first part of the video explains everything. I don't even have to say anything. The first part of the video explains everything and why I liked him. And I was on the train, and I was like, they're going to look at the measurables, and so he's probably not going to get looked at, and he could have been got. And this is a guy who loves the game, is all about the game. He got the good bloodlines. He's going to be in the gym. He's going to be working hard because of what his dad brought to the table all them years. So it's kind of like, forget the measurables. Stop going with the long and the length and get you a dog. So hopefully this doesn't happen in this draft. because they're so enamored with the length of. We just talked about Nakobe Dean. I like Nakobe Dean, but I haven't been talking about Nakobe Dean no more because they like the measurables. Look at all their linebackers right now; they're all tall. So I'm like, damn, why would I think about Nakobe Dean? You ain't even brought him in. You brought tall linebackers in, unless you're trying to throw a foo-foo gang on people. I'm thinking y'all ain't like length. So, not being off topic, but Kelvin Joseph, the measurables, but he had red flags. He got kicked out of LSU, I believe. I didn't really go all hard on the story. You had issues with your coaches at Kentucky. Those are red flags. And I'll go back to this. I had a video I did with Boss Cowboys, Law Nation, and Skywalker Steel. I tried to find the video. I didn't know if it was on my channel or not. And we specifically were talking about the 2021 draft and specifically Kelvin Joseph. And some people were getting on me in the chat because I was not critical of the pick, but I kind of was critical of the pick because I feel like you had Asante Samuel Jr. You were worried about the measures. You had a dog right now who could come in and start, and you saw what he did over at San Diego. But you went with the measurables. There was already the red flags. Red flags are real. That's why they have them. People try to overlook them like, that won't happen. Yeah, it will. If it was happening before, like all through high school and happening in college, it's going to happen in the pros. If you get money, it's going to happen more. That's the truth. I don't care what anybody tell me. And I said, I thought he was a hood dude. I thought when I first seen him, I was like, yeah, he hood. I've been in the hood. I've lived in the hood long times. If I would, excuse my language, mess with, you know what I'm saying? I know about the hood things, hood streets, all that stuff out there. So it's not going to take me a minute, but to look from afar and say this a hood cat, he hood. I ain't disrespecting him saying that, but it's just that's real. Someone looking at me like he hood. That's what it is. And so I was like, I really don't. I'd rather have Asante because you already had trouble. You hood, in my opinion. You look like you got the hood mentality, the hood attitude. You had trouble at LSU. You had trouble at Kentucky. Okay, yeah, you got these measurables, but I don't want to deal with that because that's just going to be some problems later. And you're a rapper, dog. And I know specifically people I were saying, like, man, leave him alone because he rapping. I wasn't trying to talk about the rap. I'm talking about the background of the company you're going to keep. And when we had that discussion on that round table, I specifically said, dog, I'm going to just keep it real. He look hood. He look like a hood dude. He act good from what I see. And hopefully he don't keep around the wrong company. And he rapping. He going to be on some shit. He going to be in some shit. Some kind of way, somehow, some kind of way. And, I didn't like how all year he was on Twitter. Like, I understand these players at social media, they stay on Twitter. Yes, I get it. But he was like religiously on Twitter like all the time. That bothered me. I can't keep it real. And if you look at one thing I want to tell you, if you look at all the videos I did after the Cowboys players were drafted, I did a video on every single player after the Cowboys were drafted, from Micah Parsons all the way down. I think I did on every single player. I didn't do it on Josh Ball. I didn't, because I didn't really have offensive line tape. But I specifically did not do Kelvin Joseph because I did not want to do him because I really didn't like the pick. But I didn't want to be the guy that was, man, leave this dude alone. He ain't did nothing to you. Why you tripping on him? Always worried about, the red flags were real, so I didn't make a video of him. He's one of the players I chose not to make a video out of him because I didn't like the pick. Everybody in the streets last year, in the Twitter streets, and we're all pumping him up. Yes, they were. I was not one of them. I was not a person that was pumping Kelvin Joseph at no time. I try to, if we're being real, I was just trying to not look this pessimistic. I don't want to be that dude. I don't want to be that guy that, that's a terrible pick. And I don't want to be that dude. But I didn't like the pick. That's the truth. I did not like that pick at all. Yes, he had the size and measure. Like I said, a lot of people were talking in the streets about this dude. A lot of people in the Twitter streets in the Cowboy community were on this dude. I was not one of them. I wanted Asante Samuel Jr. or other guys, not him. And because of this, and it happened. So that's just my feeling on it. I hope everything comes out okay. Prayers to the family of the young man that lost his life in this situation. Is crazy. But it's the company you keep. I've been through it. company you keep will bring you down. And the fact that nobody said nothing, I'm thinking like maybe y'all never would have said nothing if nobody would have found out this. Nobody ever said this or this went unsolved. Would you ever came to the police and said, "Hey, this happened"? Would you ever told on your man's and you apologize in the paper now, right? But you're apologizing because you got caught. That's real. I'm not judging. Anybody else? You got caught, so now you're apologizing. That's what most people in the streets do. They get caught, they apologizing. That's just what everybody does. I mean, not judging for me, but that's what you're gonna do. But is it really real? Because if they wouldn't have found this was already a month later. If they would have never found this and nobody ever found out, would you went to the police? And if you didn't do this, would you told on your mans? You know what I'm saying? I think Boston was talking about keeping it real and in the street code, not being snitches get stitches. Would you kept it on the hush? Would you have told anybody? Would you have said anything because that's your man's? You didn't do it. So you say we don't know, but I kind of believe that. I kind of believe maybe it was your man's, and you was like, oh wow, now you in the situation. What are you gonna do? We don't. You feel me? That's real. What you telling your man's? There's a code. What about things on your life? What if okay, you telling me I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? We don't know all this. You feel me? We don't know all this. So that's why I say, all those real things, real issues, like you don't know all that stuff. Oh, he had killed, and you don't know that. And if his boy did shoot the gun, you don't know if he threatened him. Like, don't say nothing or I'm gonna get you. You don't know those type of things, bro. So, um, that's just my thoughts on it. Sorry, I had to take this, and I hope everything turns out okay. That's all I can say for all parties. Um, very unfortunate. You know, I don't know what they would do as far as releasing him. I don't know, man. Um, anyway, I'm sorry, but let me get off of here. I got to get to the baseball diamond. I got the little one is in baseball, softball. She 8, she don't know what to do, and I got to get over there and help. But that's just my quick thoughts on Kelvin Joseph. I hope everything turns out okay. I hope everything works out all right, and we'll see what happens later on. Big game.